Sergio. How are you doing?
Good, good, good.
We have Precious here, and welcome, Deanna.
Hello. Can
Hey,
y'all
how
hear
are
me?
you doing? Yeah,
I'm doing well. I'm much better actually than before.
We're in Atlanta, correct?
Yep, that's correct.
So, what's our game plan and where do we see ourselves in a couple of weeks?
So the game plan now is just try to get some income in. Um I'm gonna be trying to find maybe some transaction coordinator work uh to bring some money in.
Okay, and when you say a transactional coordinator, is that something that you're comfortable with?
Yeah, I can do that. I'm comfortable. If as long as it's any kind of paperwork, digital type of thing, I am comfortable with that.
Okay. Have you ever done any TC work for creative deals?
No, I have not done any of that type of work before, but I'm a quick study.
Okay. So when you talk about transactional coordinator, give me an example of what it is that you would do.
So what I could do is any type of submitting the paperwork to whatever online portal, I can do that. If they need reminding of, hey, have y'all submitted the form yet? Have y'all gotten in touch with this client yet? Um, I have my associates in paralegal studies. I can do the paperwork type of things. I don't know the exact names of all the paperwork yet because I
That's
haven't,
okay. And I was just wanting
yeah,
to know
but
like just an example of something you would do the paperwork for. We're gonna try to see what we can do to help you out.
okay,
But in the meantime, just do what you do already. And if if you're good on calls, I could probably send you a list of some off-market leads that you can call and set some appointments up for us.
okay, I can do that.
Okay?
I
Sounds
can
good?
do that. It sounds great.
Awesome. All right, thank you. We have, is Rebecca new here?
Yes, hello. I've been on Pace's webinars. I know real estate enough where I figured I said if I could make calls as a bird dog, and then if I could get paid from that, then I can join sub two. Yeah,
Let me ask you a very straightforward question. From sub
yeah.
two, what is it that you are actually needing from sub two?
A little more about me. I have been studying real estate investing since 2002. That was back then when they were talking about flipping land. And I've always just been interested in owning my own property, learning how to wholesale. I've learned so many techniques over the years, but I haven't done any. I realized I didn't have a mentor, and that's what I really need. And a community like um, what Pace has, I think that's awesome, where you can ask each other, you can buy each other's deals or help each other with financing. At one point, I was a real estate agent in New York City, and that real estate agent job was only for rentals. So I don't know what any of selling properties, anything, I don't know what any of that really looks like.
Okay. We're all here to help you. And I'm glad that you came on today because we will definitely put you to work. And if you want to be a part of the Sub 2 community, it is a great community. And
Mm-hmm.
the community is so big and
Right.
so tight that they
Yeah.
never have to even leave the community to do anything. They're literally doing
Yes.
deals within each other.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the truth is it's very expensive. Um, and it's not for everybody. Some people think
Mhm.
it's easy as just signing up and then all of a sudden you're just going to make deals. No, there are a lot of people that actually say they're going to do something and they never fall through with it. It all comes down to being consistent and
Right.
really putting in the time. It's action, action, action.
I've done with different people throughout the years, and I thought I was getting some action. I would call homeowners, call sellers, call cash buyers, and they're like, "Oh no, I'm only looking for this." I was calling both, but I didn't really trust, I guess, like Pace has said in one of the things, you really can't trust people.
No, you
And
can't.
I had two people tell me they didn't want to sign a document first.
Yeah, well, I will tell you, the another big reason we put this together is to help people with the red flags. My goal really is to help people. Like, I don't want people to get into trouble. I have gotten into a lot of mess,
Mm,
and a lot of things I wish people told me, but I'm glad it all happened to me because now I have something that I can now look out for and teach people. So,
okay.
yes, there are things that people can do even within the community. There are people there.
And
That's just the way we work
yeah,
as people.
and
So when
that's
he
why he
says you
was
don't trust
really
anybody,
adamant.
yeah,
Uh,
like you can't
uh,
even trust your own partner.
he was very adamant, if you're gonna do something on a bird dog, you have to ask them for a JV agreement.
100%. That was the very first thing that you do. You
And
don't even do anything else
on the
until a
other
contract
side,
signed.
I didn't know, so I was bringing these people back in the day and was not getting paid.
Well, I guess it's time to get paid.
Yes.
All right. All right. So what is your goal here? What would you like to do?
Um, well,
You
I
mentioned
have
bird
this.
dog, right? Is that something that you're wanting to try to pursue? Is the whole bird dogging?
Yeah, I think if I do enough of those, that should be able to get me some money to get into sub two.
Yeah. So when it comes to bird dogging is not just necessarily sending a listing. And a lot of people get that mixed up because people
Mm,
where they're like, oh, we're bird dogging. Oh, what's your buy box? This is just an example, right?
mm.
I'm looking for a single family house in Houston with this many square feet, this many bedrooms. Guess what they do? They just start sending you listings that are on MLS or Zillow. And it's just like, what is this?
Oh,
So, for example, if you want to do bird dogging with us, we just sign a JV agreement already before you start. Because
yes,
like that, now you know, okay, I'm protected. So now when I can go do my stuff, my calls and whatever, I know
yes,
when I send something, I'm a part of that, right?
yes.
I don't want nobody to start wasting their time and putting their time and effort into something, and then all of a sudden, hey, I have a lead. You send it, and it's like, oh, by the way, can we send a JV agreement? A lot of people aren't just gonna take
They're
the lead, and
not.
that's it,
They're
right?
not.
So
No.
if you want to just start there, start with the bird dogging. I have a list of buyers in different markets. When it comes to
Okay.
a lot of people are diving into the RV parks.
Because Pace gave us a list of
Yeah.
RV parks to, I guess they were sellers or
Yep.
hope to be sellers.
So he just provided you a list of every single RV mobile home park that's in the States. Now,
Okay.
this list has been already provided a while back.
Okay.
So just
Okay.
keep in mind, there has been people already doing what you're about to do and
Uh,
calling. When you're calling, there's going to be a lot of sellers that just don't want to talk or they're just going to be rude.
right.
And don't take
People.
that personal. You got to be built for this where it's okay. That's
Yeah.
fine. Just move on to the next. Something I talk
Yes.
about a lot, is chase the no's. Rather than chasing the deals and chasing the money and the yeses, chase the no's. Because when you start chasing the no's, you actually start feeling more confident and you're now accomplishing goals because you're after so many no's. And when
Mm-hmm.
you get that one yes, it's just like, oh, oh, another no. Let's go for the next. So when you start setting the
Mm-hmm.
goals for the no's, when you get denied, it's okay. It doesn't feel because it feels like "Oh, I got another no. Yes, good. On to the
Mm-hmm.
next. Right? When
Mm-hmm.
you start chasing the deals and you're trying to get that one yes, you're gonna get 10 no's in a row. Guess what's gonna happen?
Mm-hmm.
Your energy is gonna drop, and now you don't want to make the next calls because you're not looking forward to the next no. Like you just don't want to be turned down, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's something that worked for me. It changed a lot of things for me in the way I handle the next call. So that's definitely
Okay.
something that we can do. Okay,
Okay.
so what we're gonna do is we're gonna set you up with three buyers. I'm gonna give you three buyers that are actively buying, and you're
Okay.
just going to look at their buy box and pick up the phone and go to
Okay.
town. One thing I'll tell you too is the free videos that they have for Pace on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to his cold calls. It'll
Okay.
help you. That helped me and many other people. So take advantage of that. My
To
best
those
advice I'll
calls.
give to you is never lie. Be completely honest. Don't pretend to be something that you're not. Don't tell them that you're a buyer if you're not, because they will actually be more open to conversation to somebody who's new and willing to listen to them than as to
Mm-hmm.
somebody who thinks they know more than them. And it's just like, I'm here to make an offer. I'm a buyer, and they're not. So just be
Okay.
yourself. That always
Yes.
helps. And all you're trying to do is set up appointments. You're not trying to close a deal already on the call. All you're
Right.
trying to do is to put something in front of them to say, hey, can I get a call booked with you so that you can speak to such and such so that we can see how we can put the numbers to make sense for
Right.
everybody, and we'll figure out
Yeah.
the problem and a solution here. That's all you're trying to do. When it comes to bird
Okay.
dogging, you're just trying to
That's
set up appointments. Don't
I always
overcomplicate
say
it. That's
I've
all.
done.
my last question is how do I know when the 3 buyers would be available?
So what you're going to do is anytime that you have to set up an appointment, you're going to go based off of the seller's schedule, and you're always going to ask for 3 available times and dates. And then you're going to then follow up and get back to them. Because before it goes to the buyer, it's actually going to come through me first. Because my buyers,
I
they
have the
can't waste
time.
their time going on a call where isn't even a deal,
It's
right?
not.
So if I'm going to go in that call to make sure it's actually something that's going to work rather than setting something up to the buyer and then all of a sudden it's not even a deal. It doesn't cash flow. All right, who else do we have here?
Caesar, welcome.
Hey,
Yeah,
Doc,
hello,
nice.
thank you. Yeah, I'm
Hey,
just soaking in everything and looking just to get into the real estate game as a concrete contractor by trade. I'm first on a lot of construction that I can feel will contribute towards being able to identify the good deals and what'll come across the table that'll make sense for everybody. And so I've been just kind of going on the path of learning this real estate thing myself, of not only bird dogging but wholesaling, fixing and flipping. And eventually that's the main avenue I want to get down, is fixing and flipping and just strictly like investment stuff like that. But for now I want to kind of just start at the bottom, work my way up from there. So I'm just
We're
learning piece
yeah.
by piece. And then I seen the thing about you guys offering maybe like I guess like a the bird dogging aspect of it, of being able to, I guess, send you some leads of people to call, and then kind of getting them in the mindset of making a deal, and then get them. It seems like get them on the phone with Sergio, so Sergio can verify it's a good deal to pass on to the buyers, helping the transaction, because it seems like a lot of the wholesale is not only being able to find the people, not to be able just to convince the people, but then having somewhere to offload the deals that you do get, so they're not sitting there, you're not making empty promises. So it's a lot more than just getting them to agree. It's a little bit of everything to get the transaction complete to the end. So I'm just soaking up what you guys got.
Well, thank you. Thanks for coming, man. I appreciate it. I just want to ask, where are you from located?
I'm in the States, out of California, Central California.
Okay, you sound like you'd be a good wholesaler. Just from hearing you talk.
Yeah, and learning more and more. I watch a lot of pace videos as well. There's a lot of other bigger pockets, a lot of other things. And so I'd like to get my head really wrapped around something before diving headfirst into the pool.
Okay, I will definitely help you out here. And I came from a background of construction too. I'm still doing it, so I can relate. And something I will tell you that worked for me very, very well. Uh, I started off wholesaling, and then it just stuck with me. It's not something I planned on doing. It just happened naturally. I My main goal was I wanted to flip houses. A good thing when you're kind of in the construction field and you're wanting to try to get into the real estate is you can use that to your benefit because you know numbers. You understand what it is and how much it's going to cost for this and how much it's going to cost for that. You at least have a rough idea, because when it comes to underwriting the deals, you actually need to know those kind of numbers. There are many wholesalers out there that think it's as simple as pulling listings off of the internet and making up numbers to make it look like it's a good deal. And I've learned over the years, and me as a buyer myself, they will underwrite it themselves. They're not just going to take your word for it, but anyone that's going to put their money into something, they're going to run the numbers and verify all that stuff. And when they go and see that every deal that you've sent to them, the numbers were just blown out of proportion, they know that you're just trying to make everything look pretty just to get paid, right? So this is where I'm saying you have the benefit of having that construction background because you can understand the numbers when it comes to flipping. Make sense?
Yeah, yeah. I also got a little experience in running ARVs and comps and
There you go.
repairs and
So
stuff like that. So I'm a not experienced but a little versed in kind of what it has.
you probably don't know how much experience you have without even knowing. And if you know and how to run numbers, and if you understand how ARV works, like, do you know how to pull comps? Like when it comes to fix and flip, do you know how to underwrite that?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay, okay, I'm gonna test you here. So what's a rule of thumb? What is the number that essentially an investor needs when it comes to fix and flips? It's a percentage number that I'm going to ask for.
It's somewhere between 75-85%.
70. Don't go any
Yeah.
higher than 75. If you say 85, definite no. It's so it's a 70% rule.
Mhm.
75, good luck. There are people that will buy that, but you always want to stay around the 70% rule.
Yeah, I'm one of those lower guys as well. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know how to get that number when it comes to
Uh,
purchase price, renovation costs, closing costs, all the other fees?
Fees. Yeah, no. For the most part, how to get there. It's how to subtract the rental costs and stuff like that, and you mean real estate fees, stuff like that.
Okay, good. So I'm going to share you my screen. We're going to look at my table right now. So this is my spreadsheet that I run for all my deals. So under here is the asking price of a property. So we're just going to use we'll use this one here as an example. Let me just highlight this a different color. Okay, so we're looking at this green one here. So the purchase price here, the number of bedrooms, ideally, we want to stay around the 3.2 number. Estimated repair values. Okay, so what we're gonna do to get the 70% rule, for us to make that 70% rule, for there to be enough room for the investor to make any type of money, this is the absolute most that they're gonna want to offer on the property. So the ARV is the after repair value. That's the value. So that's the number that you're going to use to start off with. And that's the number that you're going to multiply by 70%. And then you're going to minus the renovation cost. So that right there will give you the max offer that you want to offer. So max allowable offer, which you'll see people write the MAO. That's what you're going to give or offer at least. You're going to offer that to the seller. And this is what's estimated for the investor. Now, I'm going to show you another method that I use for myself, as this is what, for me as a buyer, this is what I need. So I need a minimum of $50,000 profit on every deal. So we're going to use the same deal. Which one was it? 275. Okay. So we're going to go 275. And instead of multiplying it by 70, I'm going to multiply it by 78. So the reason why I did 78 was 70 is the 70% rule. 8% is the general 8% that is used for closing costs, holding costs, and all the other fees when you sell the property, realtor fees, all that stuff. That works out to be 8%. So I already added that in to the 70% rule. So that's why I multiplied it by 78. And then from there, we're going to minus, and then we're going to minus how much that I need. I need to make at least 50,000 on the property. So that is the max that I will need to buy the property for me to be able to make 50,000 after paying all of the fees. So 275 is the ARV. We're now going to multiply it by 78%.
Now, how you get that?
So that's comparables, pulled comps. Yeah. So after repair value is No, we always provide this. So these are listings I just sold for on closing date of this year. So this one here was the most recent, 2026, February 10th. And the listing price was 835 and it sold for 815. Then we have another two properties, one that I sold in March that listed for 719, sold for 719. So that one was very good. Another one that was sold within the area, listed for 815, sold for 765. So I'm going to take these three prices here and I'm going to take an average. So an average between 815 all the way to as low as 719. I'm going to cut it in the middle and say 750. So do you see how I got an after ARV? I'm just showing you just right to the end of this is the sold price. This is the most recent, the closest ones, and this is the value that they sold for. So these are valid comps to use. I will take all three of these comps and I will average it out.
Oh,
So when I
average.
yeah, I'll average it out. So what I meant by in the middle was 815 and 719 is roughly 100,000 in between. So I will cut it in the middle, and we're just gonna say
Okay.
750. I'm just making easy numbers
Oh, you
right now. And now that you know how to get the ARV, so we will use that number. Now that one's fresh in your head.
Yeah.
So 750 ARV.
This list that you pulled up when you were looking for the ARV amount, those houses were from the MLS sold listings.
So where I get my listings from, where I get my comps is very simple like this. So you guys can use this is free. So it's called PropWire. So we will use this one. Okay. So here you'll pull listing. This is just an address. So on PropWire, you just punch in the address. It'll actually show you guys the mortgage of what's left. When you log in, just create an account, it's free. It'll actually show you the mortgage balance and the actual interest rate and who the lender's with and everything. It's actually very good.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
And then here it has a tab for the comps. It shows you that they have a remaining balance of 58,000 on the mortgage. This is their mortgage payment. Okay. And this is their rate. And then it shows you the lender, who it's with, the recording date. So now we're going to go to comps. So when you're doing comps, I would do nothing more than half a mile away, because the better comps you have and the better comps you give to your buyer, the stronger your deal is going to be and and just more firm. Yeah, you really want to make your comps very, very, very strong. Like your buyer will appreciate that so much that you will become to a point that when you start sending them deals, they won't even underwrite them anymore. So half a mile, we're going to say 6 months or less. So now it's showing you all the sold properties under 6 months and half a mile away. These are good comps to use. Now we're going to scroll down. Your property that you're in searching is going to be highlighted in green. What you want to do is, as you're scrolling down, you're staying within your numbers. So is this a comp? No. Why? Because look at the square footage, it's far off, right? So you're going to scroll down. Is this a comp? Could be because it's only about 200 square feet off. Lot is good, but this is the problem. The year.
Oh yeah, it's newer.
So is that a comp? No, it's not. But
No.
people will. Some wholesalers, they don't
Yeah.
care. They don't look at this. But I'm just telling you, as a buyer, this is not a comp, because the properties that they built back in 1979 compared to this, they're not the same builder. They're built different, right? So that is not a comp. This is a very good number, right? Not a comp. Cancels out. Cancels out. So now we have another one here. We're 100 square feet off. That's okay. This is the issue, right? But now we're looking, this is somewhat okay. So we're going to not use that one. We're going to keep going. But if we have to, we'll come back. At least we have one. Same thing. Lot size is a little bit bigger. So now we're seeing that all the ones that are around the same year, they're having bigger lot sizes than ours, right? We'll just use this one though. Okay. So we'll just click one. All right. Look, you can already see at the bottom, see how it says comp based value. So we're already starting to get an average. Okay. So right now, this is what the property's worth as a comp. We'll keep going. I will always recommend you guys nothing less than 3. Nothing less than 3. If you can get more than 3, it's always better, but nothing less than 3, as long as you're staying within the 6 months and half a mile.
Half a mile.
Okay. So now I'm just going to zoom through this really quick,
And
just
the
because,
square
all right,
footage has to maintain within
maintain,
200.
yes. So the 10% rule is what I would say.
Okay.
So this is another good comp. Okay, this one's very good. It's literally just 1 year older, but everything else is pretty close. This one is a little too small, too small, too small. This one is way too small. That one's no good. This one, this one. All right, well, this one's okay because it's actually smaller. Okay, so see how that just increased it because this one's a smaller
Yeah.
square footage. So it'll just add it based on the average price per square foot. And then we'll just get one more. We will take this one here. Okay, so we're done. Okay, so we got, there we go. So this is our comp, guys. This is how I just pulled my numbers, and this is how I got to verify this is my comp. Okay, so 235.
The ARV.
Yeah, okay, so now we're
You
going to go back over
explained
here. So this is the property that we were looking at. So it was 165. So now we're going to go back here, and I'm going to just explain to you one thing. This price here is based on what? These comps here. Are these comps renovated? I'm already going to tell you because I already did my research. They're not. They're very outdated. So these are market value comps. So as is value. So what does that tell me is that if I'm buying a property at 165, okay, at a property that is 235 market value, this, if I were to put the property on MLS to list traditionally, this is what they would list it for. But we're getting it at 165.
Yeah.
So because of experience and what I know, what's going to add value is the renovations, the finish, the type of work you're going to do in the property. So I know I can add more to that. So ideally, what I would do, I would now look at properties. So we would go to comps in the area that are renovated, and then we would compare those prices. So those prices, because I already did this, this is what my ARV is, 275. Okay? And this is what we're offering at a market value of a property that was at 235. Prop wire, it's free, it's open to the public. You can actually pay for a upgrade, and there's just other, I guess, AI bots in there that can help you out. But this is honestly the best place to start with, especially if you're new.
I didn't know that you had to follow the year that it was built too. It makes a lot of sense
Oh yeah, it
because
makes them.
they're just two different, they're decades away from each other. But
And so that's the problem is a lot of wholesalers, they don't even know though. They just
Oh.
look at, oh, it's close by and it just sold not too long ago, and they use it without even really going into depth. Right. So I will tell you, as a wholesaler, build relationships. Don't chase just that one big gold mine. The thing is, if you make an investor money from giving them good deals and you're just taking 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, guess what? That 1,000 is going to accumulate and it's going to compound over time, over time, over time. Versus that one guy that just like, oh, I just made 20,000 out of assignment on one deal. Well, try and go and sell another one to that same investor. What I'm saying is that he got that 20,000 because he overblew the ARV, right?
Yeah.
But what happened was
Right.
when that investor trusted him and he went and started doing the renovations and everything, guess what happened? His money disappeared. And then when he went to go list it, it wasn't anywhere near what the ARV that he was told on. So now he just
Got it.
lost 20,000. Do you
Oh,
understand?
wow. I
Because
do.
the wholesaler added that 20,000 on top of the
On top of
realistic
it. Yes.
ARV. So what did that wholesaler do? He just burnt that.
Burnt
That
that
bridge is
relationship
gone.
with-
So congratulations, you made that 20. But guess what? You giving the investor deals at $2,000 because you just keep giving them good deals and the numbers are close. Guess what that investor's gonna do? Hey, Ricky, you have any more? Like I have money, I need
Right.
to start.
Got
Yep.
it.
Your money's gonna compound, and now you get to call that guy. It's like, hey, you made 20,000. Well, guess what? I'm already at 50 grand with that guy, and we're still going. Right? So you're about the relationships. Don't ever chase the money, guys. I've learned so bad. Get the dollars out of your head. It's not
Yeah.
gonna do you
So,
good.
sir, Sergio, I do have another question. So, like as a TC, when I'm trying to find people to work with, do I look for investors or realtors or both, or who am I supposed to be looking for to work with?
When it comes to CTC, you're wanting to work with the buyers. You're not doing paperwork for an agent because they already have that.
Right.
They do their own paperwork.
In the J agreement, is your referral fee like a standard, or do you base it off of the deal?
So so everybody's different and every deal is different. No
And
deal
every
is the
deal is
same.
different.
So it's kind of hard to say just charge a flat fee. Some people
Okay.
do. I actually do myself too. But again, it takes time to build that relationship. I'm just gonna say easy numbers here, okay? So
Mm-hmm.
I charge $5,000 assignment fee on every deal I do, okay? But $5,000 assignment fee on a $100,000 purchase price, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
But then
Mm-hmm.
if I'm doing 5,000 every deal and now I just sold an investor a $1 million purchase price property
Oh,
for a
Yeah.
$5,000, does that make sense? Not really.
no.
No.
Not really. So
Mm-mm.
every deal is different. It all depends. So the
Okay.
way I look at it is it has to make sense. Like you go and send somebody a $200,000 property. What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna go and charge them 10 grand? No, you crazy? What do agents charge? Agents are getting 3%. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an agent, but I'm bringing damn good deals. I think a buyer will give me at least two. That's
Mm-hmm.
kind of how I go off of everything. So if
I
property's
was just curious
200,000,
how
I'm just gonna
how
go
that.
2% off of that and say that's reasonable. And I'll tell you, if you do good for the investors, that 1 to 2 deals, it's gonna
Yeah.
end up changing and your assignment fee will grow. Why? Because to them,
Ah.
they don't care about what your assignment fee is anymore. You've made them how much money and you keep bringing them more
Oh.
deals. They will not
Okay.
ask you and you don't need to tell them what your assignment fee is. It will get to a point in time that you're doing so well and so much for them, they're just
Mm-hmm.
gonna pay. Hey guys, thank you. Hey, thank you.
Oh,
It will get to that point. You just have to be consistent and transparent with your buyers,
yes.
sellers, all that stuff because it will catch up to you. Where are you from, Rebecca?
I'm a native New Yorker, but I live in Delaware.
Delaware. Where are
Okay.
we
I
going next?
all of this doing what I do with sub two is going to create the money for me to go where I want to go. So I'm hoping
And where are we going?
Florida.
Florida. I was going to guess it. Yeah, you are wanting to go to Florida, so I would say set yourself up with a goal. It's a realistic goal, and let's get you a sub 2 deal in Florida
Yes,
because you don't need banks. You don't need the money. You just have to have the
Yeah.
right people and the right networking and the right guidance,
Okay.
and you can make it happen. So that's why I asked you, where do you want to go? Florida? Done.
Oh.
And the reason why I'm saying this is because, like, this is for anybody. When you set yourself up with a goal, and this is actually where you see yourself, and then you
Mm-hmm.
go and realize that, holy man, I can actually go and find myself a deal for me. It will give you a purpose to get on the damn phone and start calling people. It will
Yeah.
motivate you because now you have something that you're chasing. You're trying to find your home, right?
Yeah. See, I
And
want to
Yes.
then
be
once you get there, guess what? You're gonna now want to buy more properties in that area
Yeah.
because
I
that's where you
definitely
are.
want to
So
buy
now
more
you want to,
properties.
it always helps to be in your backyard. And this is
Yes.
something that Pace talks about a lot.
sorry to interrupt you guys. Sorry. I think Precious has something that
oh,
wants Sergio to look at.
Just Precious, do you want to talk a little bit on this one so I know what I'm looking at?
Hello. It's actually a couple of different things that I sent you, but the very first one with the one property on it, and I just wanted to utilize that as a learning experience so I know exactly what it is that I'm supposed to be looking for because it was issues just trying to figure out the difference between the NOIs, just trying to ultimately calculate everything, what makes it a good what takes a prospect deal and turning it into an actual deal.
Okay, so just so that everybody's kind of informed in what we're talking about, so that nobody's lost, we're looking at um, we're looking at an RV park, right?
Yes.
So, Precious, this deal, what do we want to do with it? Do we want it for ourselves? Do
Well,
we want to give it to a buyer? Do we have a buyer for this?
no, I was actually going to present it to you, just utilize it as a learning experience. So then when I look at this list that Mr. Pace had done sent out, as well as the Deal Sauce team has sent out during their free webinars over the last couple of days. When I go through, I know exactly what it is that, from your buy box.
Okay, I'm just looking at the numbers right now. So I'm just gonna pull up the Crexy listing, and we'll run through this really quick, and I'll just show you. So
Okay.
what you were saying is, as presenting this to buy as a buyer, what are we looking at? What is it that we need to know, right?
It's because the numbers weren't coming up. So first off, I was having issues with the NOI. So what they were showing with the NOI versus what I was getting was not adding up. And
Never
then
does.
trying to, when I finally found the expenses and everything else, and trying to find out what the actual income would be, what's the difference between the pro forma NOI that was given, and then the actual versus realistic income. None of the numbers that they were giving was matching, and I did my
That
due
normally,
diligence, and I
that's okay.
got all
That
the
always happens. That always
okay.
happens. This cap right here is almost 99.9% always wrong. That's just how it is. And all of these numbers here, like this one here, they always blow it out of
Mm-hmm.
proportion. I don't know why. And it's always until you go and ask them for their P&L statements. If you guys P&L statement stands for
Mm-hmm.
profit loss. Once they send that, sometimes they back off and they say they don't want it until they show proof of funds. Why? Because they already know that the second they send it, and if you underwrite it, you're going to go and find out that the cap rate's off and the NOI does not add up. So it is not a good deal. Um, that's just how it
Gotcha.
is. If they right away ask you for proof of funds, that's already an indication that it's not a good deal. Okay. So this one here,
Gotcha.
I'm going to tell you right now, this is already something good to look at is when they talk about seller financing, the
Mm-hmm.
seller is offering seller financing. This is what they want is 2 million down.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 million
And
down. Try to make this as easy as possible. So purchase price is 7,400,000. We're going to minus 2 million down payment. That's going to leave us with a 5 million.4 remaining balance.
mm-hmm.
There are so in the States, you guys have so many different type of lending out there that you can you can go to a bank, you can see, but the thing is you have to make sure that the numbers work because for you to get
Mm-hmm.
the funding on this, you have to make sure that all of these numbers, the cap rate, the NOI, what it performs, it has to actually work for a bank to even look at this to give you any type of lending. Have you guys heard of the Morby method? So a Morby method is being used a lot now on RV parks. A Morby method uses a DSCR loan. So, and with a DSCR loan, you're able to pay down the down payment that the seller is requesting, and it just gives you a DSCR loan on a purchase price like this. You have more wiggle room because you don't have to go and raise capital for the $2 million. You'll actually just going to get this, and you have to just now make sure that the seller is okay to go into second lien position. If they don't go into second lien position because they don't want to, they can be protected and they go into the first lien position with you, but they go under your LLC that is purchasing the property, and they become a co-owner of that LLC. What
Okay.
that does is it protects the seller because they need to know, well, a lot of them, they don't like to go into second lien position as a bank, right? But
Mm-hmm.
with us giving them their full asking down payment, they then are going to finance the remaining to you, right? On their terms, they become a co-owner on your LLC. So like that, if you default payments, they take the property back because they own that LLC.
So would you create a separate LLC then for this?
Yes. So when you're gonna go into a Morby method, you would create a separate LLC where it's created for yourself, the buyer, and the seller to be on it together. What that does, it just gives the seller comfort to say, hey, work with me and I work with you, right? Scratch your
Yes.
back, you scratch mine, right? The thing is if they want full asking price, 7.4, and then they also
Sergio,
want full down payment and you want terms, what am I as the buyer? Where am
True.
I benefiting out of this? So it's where we got to meet in the middle. You either want your full asking price or you want the full down payment. Because if we're going to give you the full down payment, you're coming down on this for sure.
Gotcha.
And if you're going to ask this, the full ask, and you want the full down payment, well, guess what? I want terms. So it's either you give me terms or I'll give you terms and I work on a lower down payment. This, the down
Mm-hmm.
payment and the interest rate, this is where you always got to negotiate. That's where the negotiating starts. You never give the seller their full down payment and their full interest rate. You will never win. So it's talking them down, and this is where the negotiating starts. And you've got to be firm. You got to just know what you're doing and know what you're talking about. And you just have to explain to them where if is there a balloon on this, by the way?
Yes, it balloons in 5
Oh,
years.
okay. So for example, you have to increase rent. You have to add value to the property. So it's a value add. And if you want 5% interest rate and you want the full $2 million down, how am I going to justify paying you back in 5 years if I don't even have enough time to increase the value of the property? Because if you are given the full down payment at a full asking price and I go now to go refinance the property,
Mhm.
do you think the bank's going to come back and give you this full price? No.
No.
You need to do something to increase the value of the property so that this number goes from 7.4 to 9 million. I'm just giving you
Gotcha.
random numbers. You need to do something on this property to increase the value to 9 million so that when you go to do the refinance, you're going to get 70% of that value of the ARV. So now you're going to get
Okay.
70% on that 9 million. What are you going to do with that loan? You're going to now pay down the 7.4. Most likely that's not going to cover the full purchase price. So now at 5 years, you got to renegotiate the terms again with the seller and say, I got
Mhm.
$1 million left still. We need to extend the 5 years to another 2 more years. But now I want
Yeah.
instead of the 5%, because I gave my payments, they're all on time, I want it at 0%. You've already made your money and some, and I've given you the full down
Gotcha.
payment, and we're still with $1 million left. You have to now work with the seller.
So when you talk about like the amortization, like what does all of that mean?
Amortization is just the extended. So your mortgage payment, the purchase price 7.4, that's stretched
Hmm.
over 3 years. So times payments.
Okay.
So that's what that means. That's 30 years amortization. That's what that means. You're gonna get 300 and your purchase price here is divided by 360 payments at
Okay.
whatever whatever the terms are of that of the deal that you're talking about. That's what
Okay.
amortization means.
So
So
the
when
cash.
they say 5 year balloon, that's not
Mhm.
to say that your purchase price is divided by 5 years of payments because that's going to make your payments like 200 something thousand a month. So 30 years amortization, that's stretched out through 360 payments versus if what a lot of people think it is, where they say 5 year balloon, they think it's so 5 times 12 equals 60 payments. So they
Mm-hmm.
think it's going to be a purchase price divided by what was it, 60?
Mm-hmm.
You got to make $123,000 a month payments. That like a lot of people make this simple error. That's not what that means.
Gotcha.
Okay, so it's 30 years spread out of monthly payments of your purchase price or whatever the mortgage balance is.
Okay.
Okay. Anything
Okay.
else? Anything else on this?
And I've got a couple of other brokers that have just been just all of a sudden just start emailing me things.
When you're getting things sent to you, you have to really
Mm-hmm.
vet the person. If they're
Mm-hmm.
sending you a listing that they're not even a listing agent on it, that's not even their deal. You want to get deals sent to you
Gotcha.
by the person who actually has the contract. It's their listing.
Gotcha.
There's no daisy chain in the middle. Because the problem here is that if you're getting a listing sent to you and that person's name's not on the list, they're not actually the ones with the contract in hand. How do you know how many people have
Mm-hmm.
touched this deal before it got to you? How do you know how much
Gotcha.
fees got added on before it got to you?
Okay.
I would be very cautious on that because that is where things get messy and
Mm-hmm.
you will get led false numbers just to make it look good. It's always easier just to deal with the
Yes.
actual people who have the contract. I've gotten in the habit of whenever I have a deal sent to me, my first thing is who has the
Mhm.
contract? Do you have the contract? I need to see the original PSA. And if they don't do
Gotcha.
that, then walk away. If they cannot provide you with the original PSA, walk away. When somebody doesn't want to send you the original PSA, they're trying to avoid showing you all the fees that they added. That's why
Gotcha.
there's a such thing called double closing. Because when you double close, you as the person in the middle can close on the original purchase price, and now you go and upsell that price that you got it at, put 20,000, and when you go and send that next person that you added 20,000 to, you go and send them the contract, they do not see what you just got it under contract for. They see what you got it because now it looks like you have the original contract. That's what double closing's
Yeah,
for.
so that's what it means. That's what that means. Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Because there are
When
states where you
Light
cannot
bulb.
do that.
okay,
Double closings are amazing.
okay,
If I can
okay.
double close on everything, I'll double close on everything.
Oh,
I will, yeah,
okay.
yes.
The thing
But
is, what I've learned is that there are some states right now do not allow wholesaling. So
yep,
double closing
Yes.
becomes the solution because you kind of sign it and then own it for a couple of hours or a
wholesalers
day and then
love
you
double
sell it.
And
closing.
then
Yeah.
you,
So as a wholesaler, everybody wants to double close as a wholesaler because
right.
you're the one that gets it at wholesale price. You get it at the bottom price, way under. And if you know that you now got it at a price that is $5,000 under what you know you have a buyer for, you don't want to show them that you just got it $10,000 cheaper.
Mm,
So what you're going to do is you're going to now get it under contract. You're going to talk to the
okay,
title company and you're going to tell them
Mm-hmm.
that you are going to do a double close, but on each
Okay.
contract, they're going to have the same purchase price, but they're not going
Okay.
to
same
show the
purchase
fee.
price.
So then
Mm-hmm,
the end buyer, so the last buyer, they're not
mm-hmm.
going to see what the wholesaler actually got the contract for, the original. But again, you're paying for that. Double close is not free. You got to pay double. That's why it's called double close.
You have to, the
You got
wholesaler
to,
has to pay double?
someone's paying for it. That's for sure. Yeah, that ain't free. Someone's paying for it. So
Mm,
typically, if you have a good relationship with the title company, they will do
mm-hmm,
it as one fee. But the standard is you pay for every document. So if they're doing two
mm.
documents, you got to pay for each document. Do we have anything else? I really appreciate giving you guys all this
Thank
education. And as long as everybody stays true to their word and everyone keeps showing up and just putting in the time and the effort, taking action, that money will come. We're here to help where we can, but just understand you got to put in the work. That's what it comes down to. You will be rewarded.